How much you're talking about?
Do you think this team is more capable of handling whatever is thrown at it?
Yeah, I feel like we've grown quite a bit since that game. Obviously learned a lot from those moments. Going back and watching it, obviously wasn't our best effort. Felt like we didn't play our best football. But again, they got a really good team too. That they're playing this week for a reason. Their defense the last really 8 to 10 weeks has been superb. Their offense is fantastic as well. They got a lot of studs over there, led by Lamar obviously, and it's a tough team to play regardless.
Josh, whether it's right or wrong, the focus is going to be you against Lamar, and that's just unavoidable. It's the world we live in. How do you handle all that crazy hype, because it is a team game, but it's going to be you against him?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the history of football, I've never really played against another quarterback. I've played against their defense, and just taking it one day at a time, trying to have a good week of practice, and then controlling what I can control. And it's attitude and effort, and it's how we come out here and just try to put our best foot forward and try to execute on Sunday.
But do you relish the chance, though, to go head-to-head with a great quarterback like that?
Absolutely. I think that's why you play this game, is to be in moments like these. And our team, we're extremely happy and blessed to be playing and continue playing this game. Again, we're just trying to find a way to go 1-0.
Josh, like I said, I don't know if the Bills gonna pull it off, man. The last time the Bills played the Ravens, this is what happened. 35-10, man. 35-10. So I think the Buffalo Bills will keep it close. I think they will keep it close, but I just think the Ravens gonna win this one. Josh Allen, he ain't do nothing. He ain't passed for no passing touchdowns. James Cook, he ain't scored. Only one person scored, Ty Johnson. But on the Ravens, Lamar, he had two passing touchdowns. Derrick Henry, he had a rushing touchdown. Lamar Jackson, he had a rushing touchdown. Justice Hill, he scored. And Derrick Henry, he had a big game this game. 2 touchdowns by Derrick Henry. So I'm pretty sure Derrick Henry, he's going to score in this matchup against the Buffalo Bills. My prediction, I don't think Lamar, he's going to score 35 again, but he probably going to get 28. And the Bills probably going to get like 20. That's what I think.
Just asked Matt Ryan about that, playing against the other quarterback, and Drew Brees was his example. And he said that he used to say the same thing, that it's not they go against the defense, but he also said in the back of his mind, he knew that he's got to keep up with the other guy because the other guy's going to keep going. Is that something that you think about?
I mean, absolutely. We want to, our job on offense is to score the football, and we want to score every time we touch the ball here. And
hey, you're right, Crazy Dolphin. I just don't think the Buffalo Bills got the firepower to beat the Ravens. I don't think so. If they pull it off, man, I don't know, man. We're gonna have to do something different in Miami. Ain't no way we're gonna beat the Buffalo Bills. Ain't no way.
Again, is that viable? Not usually, but that's our goal every time we step on the field, is to score more points than the other guys.
Josh, why is Derrick Henry so difficult to tackle? I know I'm asking a quarterback.
Yeah, well, I've been around him. He's a great human being. I love being around him. He's a positive, bright human being. He's awesome. But then you look at him, he's absolutely massive. He's a physical specimen. He's as fast as anybody on the field. And again, once he gets going downhill, he's tough to bring down just because of his sheer size and speed.
Once Derrick Henry get going, get out of his way. Don't even try to touch him. Just let him do what he gotta do. Let him go out of bounds. Don't try to tackle him. You might get hurt.
Josh, you mentioned how the Ravens defense has looked a little different, a bit better the last 8 weeks or so. How do you balance looking at what they did against y'all week 4 with what they've done more recently?
Yeah, I mean, I think they had a game plan against us that was pretty good. So making sure that we're covering those bases and figuring out, what to adjust and how to fix some of those things. At the same time, what have they had success on the last few weeks, and not sure what they're going to do. Well, I guess we'll find out Sunday, but we'll prepare for anything and everything that we can, and just try to go out there and execute.
On Flip side of that, you guys have Amari now. Keon's had so much more time in the system. It's a very different offense for you guys. How much does that give you kind of comfort as you go into this meeting of we're a different team as well?
Yeah, I mean, there's some comfort there, but at the end of the day, it's whoever executes better on Sunday.
A lot of lessons learned in that game. Sean used the exact same words to us a couple hours ago. How much better prepared do you think you guys will be for this Sunday? Because just by virtue of the fact that you had that game.
I think throughout the year, having the losses that we've had and even some of the wins, we've learned a lot throughout the year. And again, just trusting the guys that we have in this building, in this locker room, and all we're trying to do is play for each other, put our best foot forward. And
this is a battle for the MVP. Whoever wins this, probably gonna get that MVP. I don't know about the next person. Maybe if like Lamar Jackson make it all the way there to the Super Bowl and he wins it, they might give it to Josh Allen, because Lamar Jackson, he already gonna have that ring, so they might be fair and give Josh Allen that MVP. And then vice versa, if Josh Allen make it all the way there to the Super Bowl, they're probably gonna give Lamar Jackson the MVP. That's what I feel like is gonna happen.
Score one more point than them. That's all we're trying to do.
How much has Kyle Hamilton's role changed within the Ravens defense from the first time?
A little bit different. Not so much in the slot. He's playing kind of a post high / box safety. So he's a heck of a player, though. I mean, he's flying around all over the field. He's a ball magnet. They got some absolute studs on that defensive side of the ball too. So got to be aware of where he's at, along with a few other guys. But slightly different role than what we saw earlier in the year.
Where are you and the team about the obstacle that this round has been for you guys? I mean, it's out there, it's history, but how aware of it are you, and how do you kind of put it behind you?
Aware of what? I'm sorry?
Aware of the history of that this round has been the obstacle for you guys. You haven't gotten over the hump in this divisional round. How do you handle that and move forward, knowing that there's some pressure on you guys maybe to get past this round this year?
Well, we played in the AFC Championship game a few years ago.
For the last the fourth
A few years ago, not recently. A few years ago. Remember that.
in a row.
Oh, gotcha.
Divisional, and you've been out the last 3. So there's a little bit of history there.
Goes down to whoever executes better on Sunday. That's, again, we're just trying to have a good week of practice. Playing a good team here. We're at home. We'll have to use the fan advantage to the fans to our advantage, and again, we're just find a way to score one more point.
Josh, we haven't talked to you since the All-Pro votes were announced. Were you surprised by any of those, either for yourself or for other categories?
No, I'd love for more Bills to be honored, but we know that's nothing new here, and we got a lot of guys that are in this locker room that are deserving of it. I know that, they know that, but it's not going to affect us. We're just trying to have a good week of practice.
Josh, I know you're big on visualization and things like that. Knowing the hype around this game, knowing the atmosphere, what do you kind of expect in front of Bills Mafia on Sunday?
Well, hopefully very loud when they're on offense and second and third down and making it hard for them. But just the energy, the juice, the vibes. Our goal is to get to the fourth quarter and have Mr. Brightside be playing, and I know the fans love that. But that gives us such a little shot of energy that we're going to need going into this game.
Do you ever have a signal to them on when to play it?
No, I honestly don't know when they play it. I know it's usually in the fourth quarter though, so gets the people going. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ty Johnson, where have you seen him grow the most this year? Just step up and make big plays. What does that come from?
I mean, it comes from him accepting the role in this offense. A lot of guys in this offense had to accept a little bit something maybe than they thought they were going to be in. It's not the most glorious thing to be a third down back, but he's taken advantage of every opportunity that he's had. I've said for a long time that he's the best third down back in the game, and he just continues to make play after play for us. The things that he does in the passing game, the blocking game, the run game. He's such a selfless player. He's such a great locker room guy, and I can't say enough nice things about him.
You said you've grown quite a bit since week 4. Where do you think the team has grown the most since then? I
think we're just a pretty together unit right now. really just going out there and playing for each other. We don't want to let each other down. I think we've all worked extremely hard this year, and our biggest fear is letting each other down.
At Vanguard, we believe that with goals, balance, low costs, and
shout out to Josh Allen. We're going to check out their roster real quick to see what they got and how they match up with the Ravens. Let me zoom in. We already know that they got Josh Allen. The backups, I'm not really worried about them. If these guys go in, they losing. They losing, man. Ain't no threat in here. Mike White, betrayer, used to be a Miami Dolphin, left us. He might get a ring with these boys. If he does, I'm going to get so hot. I'm going to get so mad if he does. James Cook, I think he scored the second most touchdowns this year in all the NFL. The second. Ray Davis, he's a good running back, rookie. Ty Johnson, he's showing that he might be one of the best receiving backs in the whole NFL. Darrington Evans, a nobody. Reggie Gilliam, nobody. Kind of like a fullback. And Frank Gore Jr., Frank Gore's son, he's like the 6th string running back right now for them. 6th string, so he's not going to really get PT, but at least he on the team, though. At least he on the team. They got Khalil Shakir, Amari Cooper, Keon Coleman, Matt Collins, Curtis Samuel, Deion Kane, Terrell Shavers, KJ Hamler, and Jalen Virgil. All of these receivers scored this year. All of them except for Deion Kane and Virgil. So Josh Allen, he does a good job of getting everybody the ball. Does a very good job in regards to that. Who I think going to be the biggest threat, I don't know. This receiving core reminds me of what the Green Bay Packers had last year. There's not really a number 1 receiver, but everybody's a pretty good number 2. That's the vibe I'm getting from this wide receiving core. That's the vibes. Let me see what Crazy Dolphin said. The Patriots get a good coach with that young upcoming quarterback will be a problem for sure. I know that for a fact. If Flores goes to the Jets, that's another problem. Hey, if Flores goes to the Jets, they sweeping us next year. They sweeping us because Flores knows Tua's weakness. He knows it. Lamar Jackson is in beast mode now and knows how to come back from behind like he did at Louisville. Against the Bills, I think he's going to be playing from ahead. He probably going to be playing from ahead against the Bills. So he just got the defense is pretty much the only factor that's going to have to help out Lamar against Josh Allen. The defense. If the defense do their job, the Ravens going to win this game. Dalton Kincaid, a pretty good tight end. Dawson Knox, pretty good. Quentin Morris, he be getting in sometimes, but he don't really get targeted like that. No need to worry about him. But overall, I just think the Ravens have more firepower. The old line, pretty special. That the Bills have, pretty special. They could definitely make this work. They got that boy Will Clapp on their team. Shout out to that boy Will Clapp. Cedric Van Pran, I wanted the Dolphins to get him last year. I really wanted that, but he fell to the Bills in the 5th round. Chris Greer, count your days. On defense, you already know what them boys got. They got Ed Oliver, Austin Johnson, Daquan Jones. They're pretty deep at D tackle. Pretty deep. They're like 4 deep, but there's nobody that's really a threat. So Derrick Henry, he should be able to run the ball against the Bills. He should be able to. I think he got over 100 yards last time he played the Bills. Over 100 yards. I think he could do the same thing again. Same thing. They got Gregory Rousseau, AJ Epinesa, Von Miller. So they got a pretty good edge group. Just as long as nobody get hurt, pretty good edge group. But I don't know how they match up with the Ravens. They got pretty good tackles that could hold up against these guys. Pretty good tackles. Linebackers, Terrell Bernard, Nicholas Moreau, Matt Milano. So linebackers pretty good. Matt Milano, watch the film on him. I love this linebacker right here. If he becomes available, Miami make the move. I'm pretty sure he's from South Florida too. So he would love to come to Miami. He will love it. Him and Jordan Brooks, it's over. It's over. Cornerback Christian Benford, Russell Douglas, Teron Johnson, Brandon Cordington, Cam Lewis, Elam, Jamarcus Ingram, Takori Couch, Daquan Hardy. So they DBs, they're nothing special, but they all play together pretty well. They all play together, man. So that's the good thing that the Buffalo Bills have. But Teron Johnson, I don't think he playing this game. This is probably their best DB, in my honest opinion. Their best DB, one of the best slot cornerbacks in all the NFL. So if he misses this game, I'm pretty sure the Buffalo Bills going to lose. Pretty sure about that. DeMar Hamlin shot at him, comeback player. He was about to die on the football field a few years ago. But look at him now, balling out and still playing for the Buffalo Bills, still putting up numbers. So that's amazing right there. He a strong person to come back from that. Taylor Rapp, all these safeties right here, they pretty much interchangeable, but they're all decent. Not the greatest DBs, but they're all decent, But like I said, these DBs like to play together. So that's the good thing that the Buffalo Bills have. But, when you're facing Lamar, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard because Lamar, he could buy himself time and he can make stuff happen. Right here, we're going to check out the web.
Because, of course, all eyes on Sunday for the big game is a All right, it's Monday, and we're taking a look at the weekend forecast because, of course, all eyes on Sunday for the big game as the Bills take on the Ravens. Kickoff at 6:30. So here's the European model as we head into the upcoming weekend. We are looking at an active weather pattern for Saturday and Sunday. Both models that I'm going to show you show rain and snow on Saturday, and then on Sunday we start rather quiet, and then as the day moves along, colder air moves in, and the snow showers start to develop later on Sunday. Justin.
Yeah, so this probably mean that, the Ravens, they're going to have to run the ball. Man, to win this game. Lamar, I don't think he's going to throw it in the snow. It's going to be lightly snowing out there, not too crazy, lightly snowing, but you still don't want to risk it. Some receivers, they might drop the ball because of the weather. They might drop it. So all you got to do is hand it off to Derrick Henry and run the ball with Lamar Jackson. Make sure he don't get hurt. That's all you got to do.
In time for the game. Here is the GFS model showing a similar result. As we head into Saturday, we have the rain and the snow across the area. It'll be cold enough for just snow on Sunday as the next system approaches, and the snow chance does increase as your Sunday moves along. So here's an early look at the Bills-Ravens forecast for Sunday. Now, if you're going out around noontime to start your tailgate, snow showers, temperatures near 20 degrees. Around kickoff, we're in the upper teens. It's going to be cold out there with winds out of the northwest right now.
Y'all see that 20, 18, 17? Nah, no way. No way, man. I'm watching that game from the crib. I'm not dealing with this weather. Cannot.
Around 10 to 20 miles per hour. Go Bills.
Yeah, man. So I'm pretty sure Lamar, he going to do his thing out there, man. He going to play to the conditions, and he not going to let that affect him. He not. Let's look at the Ravens depth chart. They got Lamar, the backups. I'm not really worried about the backups. Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell. He hasn't really been getting a lot of playing time ever since he came back. Rasheen Ali, he been getting more playing time compared to Mitchell. Way more playing time. So we're going to see if he gets some touches more than Keaton Mitchell. But for the most part, they're going to use Justice Hill for passing situations. If Lamar want to check down and pass it to a running back, they got Justice Hill for that. But for the most part, they're going to be running the ball with Derrick Henry. Like Derrick Henry, he's going to be the perfect running back to use in that type of weather. Perfect running back. Receivers, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman. Zay Flowers, he might not play, so that'll leave Nelson Aguilar. He might get some PT. Devontae Walker might get some PT. Tylan Wallace probably will get some PT. Anthony Miller, I remember him out of Memphis, probably gonna get some PT. Deontay Hardy, more so special teams. And Deontay Johnson, they brought him back from the Texans. The Texans released him. He only been with the Texans for about 2 weeks. They already released him, and now he already back with the Ravens. He probably went back to the Ravens, apologized to them in regards to him being mad of him not getting no PT. And they're like, okay, we'll put you back on the team. Hey, we're not gonna take none of that bull crap from you. We're not, you're not gonna act like AB with the Ravens. You can't do that. You're not good enough to do that. Deontay Johnson, he a good receiver, one of the best route runners if you watch the tape. One of the best. But if you got an attitude, like them NFL coaches, they're not gonna deal with you. They're not gonna deal with you. Like, arguably, he's probably the best route runner out of all these receivers in this room. Probably the best route runner. But the Ravens, they willing to let him go. Lamar, he gonna make all these other guys work by himself. Because of that reason, like Crazy Dolphin saying, Lamar extend plays in dangerous ways against their opponents. So that's gonna make Rashad Bateman look better. That's gonna make Zay Flowers look better if he plays. Nelson Aguilar, he be popping off for about 30, 40 yards some games and a touchdown, randomly. So you gotta be on the lookout for these receivers, even though they're not like special. Lamar, he gonna make them special by extending the plays. That's what Lamar does. Simple. And on top of that, he probably has the best tight end group in the whole NFL. Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, Charlie Kolar, he began some PT too. I feel like the Dolphins could get up to this level. Jonnu Smith, he's Mark Andrews pretty much, and then we could probably get another tight end so he could be the Isaiah Likely. Now we working with something. Now we working offensive lineman, Daniel Falele, 6'9", 400, probably the biggest guard I ever seen in my life. The biggest guard. He playing for the Ravens. Patrick McCary, he could play tackle, guard, center, everything for the Ravens, everything. So that's why he been on the Ravens for a little minute, because of his versatility. And he's pretty decent every time he goes in at each position. He's pretty decent, not bad. Roger Rosengarten fell to the Ravens in the 3rd round. A pretty good right tackle. Beginning of the year, he was doing bad, but now he playing pretty solid against good players too. Against good players. So I think he's going to be a solid piece at right tackle next year, alongside with Ronnie Stanley, Notre Dame tackle. They always do good. They arguably have a top 5 center currently, Tyler Linderbaum. Wanted the Dolphins to get him when he came out the draft. They got Andrew Voorhees, good backup. Ben Cleveland, good backup. And that's about it, man. This O-line is not the greatest, but Lamar Jackson gonna make them boys look great. Let's check out the defense. They got Michael Pierce, Matabuke, Chris Wormley, Josh Tupou. I think that's his name. Hey, don't play with Michael Pierce, man. He got a pick earlier this year. He got a pick. I think this is the heaviest person to ever get an interception. The heaviest person, man. It gotta be him. Matabuke, y'all remember him from last year, leading. I don't think he led the league in sacks, but I think he led the tackles in sacks. I think he got like 16, something of that nature. But he was learning from Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell taught him everything that he know, and look how good Matabuke is. Look how good he is. Edge, they don't really got nobody. Odafe Owe, Travis Jones, he definitely not an edge. He a D tackle, most definitely. Brent Urban, a D tackle. Ojabo, they got him. He should have been a 1st round pick when he was coming out, but injuries derailed him. That's about it. And they got Odafe Owe. He should be right here, probably. Kyle Van Noy, he's pretty much an edge guy. Still getting sacks at his age. Former Dolphin right here too. Former Dolphin. Roquan Smith, one of the best linebackers in the league. You could probably take advantage of him in coverage against Dalton Kincaid. That would be a good matchup. Trenton Simpson, rookie. He still got some work to do. But he's okay. Malik Harrison, Josh Ross. If they don't have Raekwon out there, I'd be worried for this Ravens defense. But I'm pretty sure Raekwon, he gonna play. Man. Based off this depth chart, it's looking like the Ravens gonna win. They got Brandon Stephens, Kyle Hamilton, Marlon Humphrey, Darius Washington, he been a sneaky good player. Kind of remind me of like a bootleg Tyrann Matthew, around the same size, could definitely hit. So keep a lookout for our Darius Washington. Even though he's small, he's still gonna pack that punch. Still gonna pack that punch. Jalen Armour Davis and Nate Wiggins, TJ Tampa, Tre'Davious White, Trayvon Mullen. They got too much DBs, man. Arthur Mollett, too much DBs. I'm surprised as to how bad they was playing earlier this year, but now, they holding it down now for Lamar. Lamar in the offense, they probably told them boys, hey, y'all boys need to get right, man. If y'all boys don't get right, we're not winning no Super Bowl. We're not winning no Super Bowl. But now them boys probably a top 10 defense currently. So I think that they would be able to stop whatever the Bills throw at them because of all the firepower that they got. They're going to be able to stop it, barring any injuries. They got Marcus Williams. I'm hearing that he might be on the trade block after this year. That's what I'm hearing because of our Darius Washington. Him showing that he got potential, they're going to probably pair up Darius Washington and Kyle Hamilton to be a safety duo. B.O. Braid, I wanted him last year when he came out of Maryland to be a Dolphin. Eddie Jackson, I think they released him. I think they released Eddie Jackson, man. I love Eddie Jackson because he's from the crib, most definitely. But they did let him go. Shout out to that boy. But looking at these rosters, man, I do think the Ravens gonna win, man. I do think so. I'll put money on it. I'll put money. Let's check out what Lamar had to say.
I know you're not going specifically against Josh Allen in this game, but what, as a fellow quarterback, what has always kind of maybe impressed you about Josh Allen?
His uniqueness of just making things happen when plays break down. Strong arm, can make any throw on the field. Definitely.
Lamar, how can you describe this vibe, excitement going into, against Bills?
The same as last week. I feel like our guys just locked in and playoff atmosphere is pretty much serious around the building. Our guys.
Hey, you're right about that, Crazy Dolphin. I definitely agree. I feel like Josh Allen, he's more easier to contain than Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, he could break it loose and score on you. With Josh Allen, if you got enough speed on defense, you could stop him. You could stop him. But not everybody in the league as fast as Lamar Jackson when he running. Even if he not running and he's trying to buy time in the pocket, don't nobody move like him in the pocket. Nobody. Not even Josh Allen. Josh Allen, he be trying to, but he just don't got the speed that Lamar got. So it don't really look that good when Josh Allen do it, but he be making it work. He makes it work. But Lamar Jackson, every time he run, is like, oh well, so be it. I'm too slow for Lamar. Too slow. I think Lamar run probably a 4.29. That's my prediction. Lamar run a 4.29.
We've been joking, but not that much. Guys just locked in because, like I said, a lot of us was here last year and we know what's at stake for us.
Lamar, it's supposed to be even colder in Buffalo than it was last weekend here. What will you do to manage that?
Hopefully we have some heaters on the sideline. Bigger jacket, probably. I got to talk to Kaneko to see what he got going on. Equipment guys, they pretty much do a great job though, so we should be good.
But you don't do gloves under any circumstances.
No. I tried it in practice. I was horrible. Leave that up to Teddy, two gloves, Teddy Bridgewater.
Hey, shout out to Teddy. They both from the crib, man. Shout out to them boys. Two of the best quarterbacks that ever come out of Florida. Teddy and Lamar Jackson.
Aside, it seems like you do handle the cold weather pretty well. Being a Florida guy and everything.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to win, so it really don't matter. I can't go into a game and be like, man, it's too cold. I can't make things happen. Coach, them probably send me home. Eric, them be probably trying to come,
That's real, man. A Florida boy saying this. A Florida boy. Hey, Tua, what's your excuse? Look what Lamar said right here.
I win, so it really don't matter.
Being a Florida guy and everything.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to win, so it really don't matter. I can't go into a game and be like, man, it's too cold. I can't make things happen. You know, coach them probably send me home. Eric them be probably trying to come, you know, have me go upstairs and talk to him.
Hey, Chris Greer, I don't care if the Ravens probably won't let go of Lamar Jackson. At least call them boy to see how much they would take for Lamar. At least try. Because this is unexcusable right here, man. Unexcusable. Lamar, he should have been a Dolphin. Should have been a Dolphin, man. Lamar Jackson, he interviewed well, you know, role model, you know, but he's still being himself. He's not like putting on a front for nobody in the media. He's not.
Some stuff, so I got to lock in the cold.
Lamar, what do you think has made the Dolphins such a reliable threat this season?
Man, him just being him. Like, we got plenty of film on Bateman just getting open on guys, you know, but the ball wasn't going his way, you know, because it was always out my hands or it's pressure or something backside, so he wasn't able to get the ball. But us just watching film and just building chemistry over and over, you know, day in, day out, and him just being the best player he can be, he's just lighting things up, making my job a lot easier, getting open even more, you know, and we got a lot of guys on our offense, man, tight ends, a lot more receivers, running back, so it's hard to keep an eye on one guy.
Do you kind of get the sense that this game is the main event this weekend? This is sort of the matchup that everybody wants to see?
Excuse me for everyone watching, but I really don't care who's watching. And like, no, to me, like us players, we just trying to win. We really don't care like how people feel about it. We trying to go in there and just win. You know, that's a tough environment, tough team, offense, defense, special team. We just trying to go there and win.
So you don't feel any different as far as the build up to this matchup?
So I believe we already built up. You know, it's playoffs. It's not like we can go out there, lose a game, and then prepare for another game. You know, it's win to go home. So we already like lit.
Lamar, we know what your goal has been since you've gotten drafted here, and you get to this time of year in the playoffs. Obviously, you're getting.
And Lamar said he's trying to be the best quarterback of all time. That's what Lamar said. He's trying to be the best quarterback of all time. And the Ravens, they're going to try to put him in that position to be the best quarterback of all time. So we're going to see if Lamar can make it happen. First thing first, he's going to need them rings. He's going to need them rings, man. So, hey, I want Lamar to get one. I do. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but we're going to see.
Closer, but when you win a playoff game, what does that feel? Does it make you think about the end goal anymore? How do you handle playoff wins?
Lock in for the next week. You know, probably that night, you know, you cool talking about things that happen within the game. But after that, it's like, all right, we got another game. You know, it's no get high, get low. Just stay focused.
Well, you guys had a lot of different combinations of receivers and tight ends in the game at various times last week. How did that go operationally, just in terms of everyone being on the same page?
It was pretty smooth. Just like you said, everyone being on the same page, it just had everything flow smooth for us on the offensive side of the ball.
Lamar, we saw Hard Knocks, another instance of you having to catch your pants from falling down. Is that the offensive weight loss at play? Is that...
Nah, they put my pants down. One of them.
What?
I guess they were just trying to tackle me. Not letting me pants
okay.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that. But
last game, somebody tried to tackle him. Lamar pants kind of came down on that. Kind of came down. I don't know if y'all seen that. Y'all got to go back to the game to watch that.
Yeah, I was. You know, they just tackled me. Got me, I guess. It's too aggressive, just making sure I was down. My pants slipped, so Hard Knocks. Stop putting that up.
New quarterbacks from the 2018 draft class, right? You're kind of this group. You're viewed as this group. Mm-hmm. What's your relationship with Josh Allen? Do you ever see him off season in any of these charity events or anything like that?
Do I see Josh? I don't know. I probably seen Josh like early on in our career, like going to certain events like around Super Bowl time and stuff like that. But all season, I don't really chill with people all season, like especially not other quarterbacks. Like nothing like don't get me wrong, there's no problem, nothing like that. But it's like we compete against each other. Like I'm trying to beat you. Like I'm not trying to be your friend.
Yeah, do you think?
Man, I might have to stand up for this one, man. I might have to stand up. Man. That's crazy right now. Hey, that's a quarterback right there. That's a quarterback, man. Shout out to Lamar, man. Crazy, bro. Crazy the Dolphins didn't trade for him when he was available. Nobody wanted to trade for Lamar when he was available. Nobody. And now he's going to stunt on y'all. He's going to get a few rings on y'all. You know, just Lamar, I'm not going to say he's perfect, but, you know, it seems like he gonna focus on what he need to improve on, and he gonna get to the point as to where he's a top 5 passer, top 5 runner, no matter what position. Lamar, he's just a pure athlete. Hasn't thrown an interception. Everybody's saying that Lamar can't throw. To me, that sounds like Lamar can't throw. The fact that he hasn't thrown an interception in 2 months, bro. 2 months.
Well, but this is a team that I think is up there second and third in most takeaways. What have you, and we saw it even last week, that end of half drive, being intentional about, Steelers are going to be swiping at the ball and that sort of thing. What have you done this season to really tighten that part of your game up?
Just overly focus on that part of the game, just protecting the ball, because just going back, like I said, just watching film, a lot of our games came down to us with turnovers, getting back on track, stuff like that. So coach overemphasizing that on us, like making sure, ball security, this and that plays a part with me, not just fumbling, but keeping the ball out of the defender's hands as well. Put the ball only my receiver can catch the ball and make moves. So that's pretty much just been a all-around emphasis focus for us.
Lamar, you were able to put up 28 points without having Zay out there. If Zay is still unable to play, how big of a challenge does that put on this offense when you don't have a Zay out there?
It's a huge challenge. That's a guy been with us all season long, been making things happen for us. And just him being him, what he brings to the game, it's like we gonna miss that. But we got guys who locked in and ready to step up to the plate for us.
With Zay, I don't feel like he enough for the Dolphins. Not the Dolphins or Ravens. I don't think he enough. They probably gonna add another big time receiver in the offseason. Another big time receiver, and the Ravens, they're gonna be right back at it. AFC championship, right back at it next year.
Year 7 for you. Do you think you have a greater appreciation and understanding of what it takes to win in the playoffs than, say, 2019, 2020?
I always had the appreciation. We just didn't come out with success. But it's just different from like you said, like the experience part of it. Like certain things you had to clean up in those playoff games that the ones we won, we didn't really have those problems with the ones we lost. So just me watching. Like I said, watching film and learning from my mistakes just make things a lot easier for me.
Two more, please.
As a team, you're coming off a game when you put up almost 300 yards on the ground and you had success running the ball against these guys the first time around. How important do you think, especially on a cold night, that the run game is going to be in this game?
I feel like that's just playoff football, especially playing up north. You got to be able to run the football, especially with the cold, the wind. The cold really don't play that part. It be the wind really, So sometimes you got to run that ball. It'll play a huge part.
Hey, take Lamar Jackson for rushing yards on your parlays. Take him for a rushing TD. Take Derrick Henry for a rushing TD as well in rushing yards. They're gonna be running the ball a lot in Buffalo. Like I told you, it's gonna be 20 degrees with light snow showers. Man. So that's the perfect condition for a team to run the ball.
You obviously beat these guys earlier this year, and it's been a few years since you played them in the playoffs. But does that last playoff game matter to you? Do you think about that now?
Yeah.
Lamar has a 4.34 in the 40-yard dash. Hey, that's close to a 4.29. I think Lamar Jackson, he in the high 4.2s. I think so, but we will never find out.
Just saw it. Like I just see a little clip. They always like to post, like they like to throw that out, that little interception return. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say about that, dude.
All right, hey, Lamar, he mad about that. Lamar mad about that pick right there in the last game against them. The pick 6 that they got, definitely mad. Hey, Lamar, he gonna snap on the Buffalo Bills, man. He gonna snap. My score prediction 28-20. 28-20. Next video, we got Donovan Mitchell. He gonna react to Lamar Jackson this time at Louisville. They went to Louisville at the same time.
When that day comes and I win a chip, I'm probably gonna be like my man JT, saying every meme that I seen.
You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, people know who you are as a hooper. You know what I'm saying? Like you get to Louisville at the same time that you at Louisville, there's another baller on campus.
Louisville had athletes this year. The boys definitely had athletes.
Jackson.
Facts.
who's cooking the hardest in Louisville at the time? Like who, you know what I mean? Like who's skipping the line? You know what I'm saying? Because
it's funny. Like Lamar wasn't Lamar when he was the backup. Mm-hmm. He wasn't even a starting quarterback at Louisville. And I forgot the guy's name. It was Kyle something from Louisville. And I never forget it. He either gets hurt, throws an interception, and the next thing you know, Mark come in. And he had when I think we're losing or something like that. He comes in, he's doing well, but like you could tell he's making some throws where he's a freshman, he's trying to figure it out.
You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, and he like, all right, like, okay. And the next thing you know, he takes his spot his sophomore year. And I want to say it was that year he won the Heisman, like that. Like he's doing shit.
First
like,
year as a starter, he won the Heisman. First year as a starter, he won the Heisman, man. First year. Crazy.
I'm like, yo, like we up, like games at 1 o'clock. You got the basketball team up at 6 a.m. tailgating with the students because we like this shit finna be a show.
You're a real tailgating nigga too, by the way.
I know.
I be seeing. Yeah, I be peeping.
I ain't done it.
Nigga rolling kegs down.
I ain't done that shit in 8 years. I was like, man, I got to do something. I got to. That was fun. I had a good time. Shout out to everybody in the community lot in Cleveland. That was a good time. But yeah, so then it's funny, we was having dunk contests my freshman year in the gym. Like me, Lamar, some of the guys on the team, Louisville's team and the football team. And he was out here windmilling, like throwing it off the wall, like crazy. Like crazy. But then I always say, he left school now, so it's irrelevant. But like my first year, we was at every class together. We was every class. Always in class. Next thing you know, every assignment for him was online. Just like that.
That's what's going to happen when you win Heisman. That's what's gonna happen.
Yo, what's up?
It's like they knew, like, I bet, like, you know, I'm over here. We over here, like, the fuck he at? So you see him every Saturday doing this thing. I'm like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, every class was online after that.
They got the equipment manager picking up fucking the syllabus and shit. Like,
I ain't see Mar on campus a day after that. I was like, hey, do your thing. That's my dog too, but he was all saying that. We like our academic dude getting us for not being in class. I'm like, man. And then he goes, man, you see what the fuck he doing? You do that every fucking night. Then you ain't got to go to class. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Lamar, he was putting up crazy numbers in college, man. Crazy numbers. Let me pull that up for y'all real quick. I can't really see it. Let me zoom in. All right. Pull up the stats for y'all. NCAA. Let me zoom out. Yeah, I think I can see everything from here. Lamar, he was running the ball 24 times a game, 27 times, 23, 22 times. He was getting 180 yards rushing, 178 yards rushing. So he's putting up Ashton Genty type numbers in college. Ashton Genty. You know, he wasn't really doing that great passing the ball. You know, he didn't really do nothing crazy. You know, this last game against Mississippi State, 4 interceptions. I don't know about that, Lamar. But he had 24 carries, 158 yards, and 1 touchdown, man. Lamar, he was definitely like that. He ended up finishing the season with 232 rushes, 1,601 yards, and 18 rushing touchdowns. He had 27 passing, but 18 rushing. So no wonder he won the Heisman. No wonder. Let me see what he did his freshman year. Freshman year, he pretty much did the same thing. He had 163 carries, 960 yards, 11 touchdowns. You know, but he didn't really do nothing in the passing game, to be honest. They're probably scared to pass the ball with him because he wasn't developed yet. That's probably why. But each year he got better. Each year he got better. You know, in 2016, he put up 21 rushing touchdowns, 21. And then he put up 30 passing touchdowns. One game he had 6 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. Lamar Jackson, he's a legend. He's a legend. He definitely gonna be a Hall of Famer for sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. Let's see what I got next for y'all. Appreciate you, Crazy Dolphin, DGLivee. Great film and interviews. Have a great night. Gotta run some errands. Appreciate you, fam. I'll be back tomorrow talking about the tight ends. I'll be back. So I know I'm gonna see you tomorrow. I know I'm gonna see you. Have a good night, fam. Let me go to the next video for y'all real quick. Now we moving to the Dolphins now. You know, my team. Let me see.
Baptist Health Studios for another edition of Dolphins HQ off-season edition. And I have the clicker in my hands, so that means we're going to go right away into the tape here and take a look at my top 3 sacks for the Miami Dolphins from this past season. Kicking it off here in the season opening game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Go ahead and cut to the end zone copy right away and take a look at my man Jalen Phillips right here. Cannot wait to watch him play football once agagan and watch the attention he commands here on this critical 3rd and 14. And you're going to watch JP after this play point to the watch because it is in fact closing time. 3rd and 14, 3.5 minutes to go in the game. Tie football game. A sack right here gets the ball back to the Dolphins offense and they would go on to win the game. Let's go ahead and see how it happened though. Jalen Phillips off the edge, going to get some attention here from Evan Ingram, the Jacksonville tight end, with a little chip off the line of scrimmage right there. That doesn't really impact him that much. And now we have a one-on-one matchup against the right tackle. And all this rush game going on over here, pretty much one-on-one across the board, double teaming Calais Campbell. And
y'all think it would have made a difference if we had Jalen Phillips for the whole year? Y'all think so? I don't know.
Side, and Phillips takes advantage of his one-on-one matchup by just straining and pretty much outworking.
Yeah, that's a good
the
sack
tackle
right there.
Here in pass protection.
Anton Harrison, he's a pretty good right tackle. He's not one of the best, but he's pretty good.
To keep working upfield and get back to Lawrence and finish at the quarterback by wrapping up and bringing him to the ground. What I want you to look
love Jalen Phillips, but he's just too injury prone.
I hear the most though is this is a guy who came back from a torn Achilles and played week 1, an Achilles that he tore at the end of November. Now he's coming off an ACL injury. This is the kind of work that he showed you on a down-by-down basis, but also in how he attacks his rehab process. He works so hard to keep on working on the upfield shoulder, find the quarterback, condense the pocket, make the play.
Is Jalen Phillips going to show that same type of explosion next year? Coming off of 2 ACL tears. 2, not 1, 2. So we're going to see what happens, man. We're going to see. You know, he's due for an extension, but I don't know what the Miami Dolphins got planned. I do not know. But Jalen Phillips, he's too good of a talent to just let go. You know, he was the #1 rated overall recruit coming out of his class in high school. #1, so he got some potential.
Get the ball back to your offense, and the Dolphins go win the football game. 2 weeks later, after JP goes down with his ACL injury. We don't have Bradley Chubb back at this point of the year. Didn't get him back for the entire year, but the Dolphins are thin at this edge group because of the injuries. And so you're going to kick out your stud defensive tackle, Zach Sealer, here to a 5 technique position against an empty formation for the Seahawks. All 5 in the pattern there. Go ahead and check off all those guys. No running backs back here in protection. It is 4-on-5 against the Seahawks offense.
Zach Sealer, he a D tackle. And the fact that we're using him at D end, you know, not all teams are willing to do that with their D tackles, but Zach Sealer, he shows that wherever you put him on the O-line, he's going to get pressure. He's going to get pressure. He's going up against Charles Cross. You know, had a pretty good year at left tackle for the Seahawks. Let's check this out.
Line. Let's go ahead and cut to the tight copy right here. This is a guy that has 20 sacks, right? The last 2 years, the most in the NFL among defensive tackles. But this position right here is not defensive tackle.
So Zach Sealer, he's the leading sack person for D tackles the past 2 years. The leading sack guy.
Outside shoulder of the tackle, that is the 5 technique position. And he's going to execute a true edge rusher pass rush move right here called the push pull. So the first thing he wants to do is go ahead and shoot the hands to the offensive tackle and kind of gain control of the rep and get him working backwards, pushes him back on his heel. And then once he gets him in that position, the grip strength, the forearm strength, the upper body strength of Zach Sealer, who himself is in great position, yank it back
Beautiful
forward,
move.
and slingshot your way into the quarterback.
You know, watch
one
out.
of the easier finishes he can get in his entire career because of how quickly he undresses the tackle here in this one-on-one matchup. They're going to slide protection away from Zach Sealer because, well, it's a defensive tackle, right? We don't have to worry about him at the 5 technique. Oh, yes, you do, because he has a wicked move, a wicked arsenal, I should say, of pass rush moves to get Geno Smith to the ground for that critical sack.
Man, I ain't see Chop Robinson. That boy got pancake. Damn, Chop.
Because, well, it's a defensive tackle, right? We don't have to worry about him at the 5 technique. Oh, yes, you do.
Look at 44. Look at 44.
He has a wicked move, a wicked arsenal,
But this was earlier in the year. Earlier. So I give Chop a pass for that. I give him a pass.
Of pass rush moves to get Geno Smith to the ground for that critical sack. In the Seattle game, we jump way ahead to Week 16 right here for kind of a team effort. And one of the things we talked about on the show today with Anthony Weaver is the ability to get sim pressures and different types of blitzes.
And look what Chop Robinson does on this after we just seen him get pancake against the Seahawks. Look what he do.
Against opposing quarterbacks to create quarterback pressure. So the Dolphins are going to essentially get one-on-one matchups here with Jordan Brooks on the running back, who's in scan protect, and he wants to settle down in that B gap right there and pick up the unblocked man. And then the right tackle right here against Chop Robinson and all that he has to offer. There's the play rolling out full speed. Let's go ahead and cut to the end zone angle here to get a better look at this thing as they are.
You know, but this O-line full of nobodies. You know, the best player on this O-line is Moore, Jalen Moore. Be on the lookout. I'm pretty sure the Dolphins might target their left tackle. This is the backup left tackle to Trent Williams for the 49ers. He has some familiarity with Mike McDaniel, so he might bring him to Miami to be that swing tackle. That swing tackle if Teron Armstead ends up retiring. Be on the lookout for Jalen Moore.
They're going to slide protect to take care of this delayed blitz right here from Anthony Walker, who's going to loop in off the blitz of Jordan Brooks. And this guard is privy to Walker and knows that he has to pick that up. And they're going to trust the running back here to step up in scan protection and take care of Brooks. But the problem is Brooks deconstructs the block and wins straight away by evading that little pickup.
Beautiful rush by Brooks.
And that's
not Brooks, he ain't fall down when he blitzed. So that set him up perfectly to be right here in this position, right in front of Brock Purdy. Sat.
Where you want
too much
to
pressure. You got to run.
Running downhill, no blocker in front, and then we're going to go ahead and pair up with Chop Robinson, who gives the right tackle plenty of issues.
Good job by Chop.
As he kind of runs a speed to power move here, we're going to go ahead and generate speed off the rush, collapse into the tackle. Watch the anchor kind of give ground here as he takes him back into the quarterback, and then get on the upfield shoulder, kind of like the push-pull move I talked about with Zach Sealer. He's going to get on the upfield shoulder and then work back inside and disengage from that block and team up with JB for the sack there of Brock Purdy. So the Dolphins defense, whether it was one-on-ones winning matchups, whether it was sim pressures, pass rush games up front, they found ways to get after the opposing quarterback all year long, to get sacks, to get takeaways, and impact the quarterback, which is the key for a pass rush in any NFL team. And Coach Anthony Weaver had these guys playing at a high level all year long.
We've got about 50 million followers. We're in the billions of views, and we're a small team.
So all year on the Drive Time podcast, available wherever you get your podcast from, we had the great Kyle Krabs on the show talking about the prospects that he was looking forward to watching over the course of that college football weekend. And now that there are only 2 teams left in the entire dance, I want to tell you guys about some of the players that have been catching my eye for both Ohio State as well as Notre Dame. To make this as concise as possible, I'm going to stick with one position and cover the groups on either side of the football, starting with the team that I'm picking to win the game, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, those of you diehards that want to get out in front of the 2026 class, Caleb Downs, a sophomore who was just the freshman of the year in the SEC last year for Alabama under Nick Saban and now transfers to Ohio State, put a pin in that name because he is not eligible to come out. But his running mate, Lathan Ransom, has one of the coolest names in the sport for starters, and one of the best games to make it matter as well. When you watch his game, you'll see those 2 safeties rotating from the pre-snap presentations to their actual coverage roles. And if the Irish run the football, you're going to watch Ransom, number 8 on the field, as the rat in the hole, coming from depth and punishing ball carriers with great tackling form. He understands angles, how to defeat blocks, and how to finish through the ball carrier, bringing his feet and wrapping. He is.
Hey, we definitely do need a safety. Definitely do need one. We probably going to get one in the 1st or 2nd round if we lose Holland.
Very, very impressive. I love his game. And if you like instinctive safeties, well, the Irish have one on their side as well. And Xavier Watts, he wears number 0, but plays like anything but.
Yeah, I like him to the Dolphins. Definitely like him. 6 interceptions this year. 6. Come on, man. Perfect scheme fit. We need turnovers. We definitely need those, and he gets them.
0. The football finds him all the time. He's a consensus All-American. 13 picks in the last 2 seasons, 6 tackles for loss, 17 passes defensed, and been in on 4 fumbles. He scrapes off the D-line like a linebacker. He can man-match and zone coverage on the back end, punishing opposing quarterbacks for any mistake they make by turning the football over. Should be a fun championship game, especially for the neutral observer, just trying to get a look at more prospects like myself.
First, I'd like to say disappointed, 8-9. That's not the standard here.
It is the standard. It is. For 20 years, it is the standard.
Been and it won't be. We will be better, and that includes everyone from myself to Mike, coaching staff, players. We had expectations which were created by the excitement of the last couple years, and we had hoped to continue it, and for various circumstances it didn't happen this year, and it was unacceptable.
To echo the words of General Manager Chris Grier, 8-9 is not the standard here. It hasn't been, and it won't be. This was a team coming off an 11-win campaign, some of the most electrifying offense the league had ever seen, plenty of impactful changes both in the draft and free agency, and yet the final mark is this pill this very talented team is going to have to swallow for the entire offseason. I think it's important to remember that progress is not always linear, not in this game at least. I also think it's incredibly important not to label all the misgivings as excuses, but rather reasons that things went wrong. Because if you don't unpack the shortcomings, how will you ever overcome them? Close games, injuries, big moments, all things the Dolphins can sharpen for 2025. But Miami was 6-5 in games started by QB1 this year, and 2-4 without him. Among those 5 losses were buzzer-beating field goals by a red-hot Cardinals team back in October and a 61-yard field goal in Buffalo after a missed PAT in that game from the same kicker. This league is designed to produce close games, and every team can point to a few pivotal moments that went against them and say, if those were different, our record...
Beat good teams, man, and we're not complaining. Beat good teams, and we good. We Gucci. We Gucci, but y'all boys have a hard time doing that. Hard time beating good teams.
And our fate might be too. So now that we've laid the groundwork for all that, I think it's also important to identify what you do or did well so that you can emphasize those things in the offseason. Things like becoming a ball control offense that paired well with the contrasting nature of the 2023 offense that produced more fireworks in the 4th of July and New Year's Eve combined. Explosive offense made fans excited. I think you saw Tua expand his skill set and become a true extension of the play caller on the field. His stretch of 17 touchdowns compared to just 1 pick over a 5-game span coming back from his injury back in September showed yet another uptick from the franchise quarterback, who's still just 26 years old, by the way. On the other side,
I don't think Winfield look at the stats, man. I don't think so.
How about that defensive coordinator? We saw Jordan Brooks produce one of the best seasons a Dolphins linebacker has ever had.
Yup.
We saw Chop Robinson post the highest pass rush win rate by a rookie since Micah Parsons. We saw Jalen Ramsey fully deployed, blitzing, coverage, run defense, everything. Zach Sealer doing, well, Zach Sealer things next to a new running.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Chris Grier, he make good moves, and he also makes bad moves. That's my only issue with him. His bad moves outweigh the good moves. It definitely outweighs it. We got a lot of good talent on this team. Chop Robinson, everybody else who's performing, Malik, Calais, Jalen Ramsey. So shout out to Chris Grier getting them boys in the building, but the record is not reflecting it this year. In regards to the talent that we do have, it's not reflecting.
Running mate in the omni-dominant Calais Campbell. There's a lot to build upon here for this Dolphins team, and I, for one, cannot wait to see how it unfolds this offseason, especially as an absolute draft geek, and the Finns are scheduled for double-digit picks. That's right, 10 draft picks this April.
No,
and again,
I love it.
If you're looking for
Love
Dolphin-centric draft content, the Draft Time Podcast is the podcast for you, breaking down all the prospects ahead of April's draft. But before we turn the page, how about some awards from the 2024 season?
Placing your first options trade? You've come to the right place. With real-time insights from...
Before we get to my choices for the first annual Dolphins HQ Team Awards, let's recognize the Miami Dolphins official team award winners for the 2024 season. First, Zach Sealer was voted the Dan Marino Most Valuable Player. And his running mate
Oh,
inside
him?
defensive tackle Calais Campbell earned the Don Shula Leadership Award, while linebacker Jalen Phillips was named the team's Ed Block Courage Award winner, and tackle Teron Armstead was honored with the Nat Moore Community Service Award. All very deserving and great representatives of the Aqua and Orange. Now, on to the HQ
That's pretty
Team
cool, man.
Awards, where even the categories were selected by yours truly. Starting with the Rookie of the Year, which is a pretty common category, right? It's Chop Robinson. Who else would it be? Let's go ahead and start off with the easiest one here, because Chop wasn't just posting.
Chop had 6 sacks, 8 TFLs, 14 quarterback hits, 26 tackles, man. Shout out to Chop. Shout out to Chop. I wasn't expecting him to get that much sacks this year. His first year, was not expecting it, but he does look explosive this year. Next year, I think he could get to 15 or 12 sacks in between there, 15 or 12.
Top tier metrics among rookies, his standing was consistently up there with the best pass rushers in the game. He pairs an elite get-off with a veteran polish to feature secondary moves and harass opposing quarterbacks en route to 6 sacks, 14 quarterback hits, and finishing 11th among all edge rushers with a 19% pass rush win rate. The exact same number, by the way, as Pittsburgh's TJ Watt, and 1 percentage point less than Las Vegas's Max Crosby for what it's worth. Pretty good players in their own right. How about our outstanding offensive player? I'm going with the quarterback on this one because he was a big part of bringing this team back from 2-6, especially.
I mean, he win it by default. He win it by default. I give him that.
In the games right back from the injury reserve, we talked about 17 touchdowns compared to just 1 pick. And the Dolphins were 1 play away in a couple of those games from going 5-0 during that stretch. What a story that would have been. I thought he grew and matured in his ability to execute the position, develop more tools for the position, and had his best year as a pro, quite frankly. You'll see air yards used as a way to say it was a down year from 2023, but I promise you that those that evaluate the film see the way he's able to lift the coverage and make quick decisions to maximize this offense's efficiency. Tua posted his 3rd straight season with a passer rating over 100. He's the first Dolphins quarterback to do that.
Hey, we do not care. We do not care.
Ever. And cumulatively, since 2022, Tua ranks 3rd in NFL passer rating behind only Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Not bad company. Outstanding defensive player? Well, it looked no further here than the NFL's leader among defensive tackles and sacks. Since the beginning of 2023, Zach Sealer has dumped the opposing quarterback 20.5 times these last 2 seasons combined, and became just the 3rd Dolphin since the turn of the century with back-to-back double-digit sack seasons. The others being Cam Wake and Jason Taylor, more pretty good company. Sealer is unblockable. He commands double teams and still gets his wins. Pass rush, short yardage, run game, setting up his teammates. He's one of the best players in this league, regardless of what position he plays. And the team MVP, it was neck and neck for me between Sealer and this guy, but I'm going with Jordan Brooks. Sealer was literally right behind him on the proverbial ballot. We're talking like a 9.9 to a 9.8. It was that close for me. But Brooks played 98%.
Yeah, I think that video is done. They just gonna talk about the stats with the Buffalo Bills. I got one more video for y'all. I'm gonna call it a night, but I'm gonna be back tomorrow. Gotta get some Z's.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and get access to over 1,300 airport lounges. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Let's talk about your new job as OC at Chamblee High School in Georgia. You're coaching your son and you're coaching your former teammate Jamal Lewis.
Right here we have Ed Reed. He's gonna talk about him taking that new coaching spot in high school. I thought he would go to college or the NFL, but he chose high school. But let's see.
His son. What does it mean for you to be able to lead those young men next season?
It means a lot. Jamal Lewis was a captain of the ship trying to get me over there too. So I'm grateful to Jay. And, coaching my son, as y'all put the picture up, man, kind of.
So Ed Reed pretty much doing the same thing that Coach Dion is doing. He see the bag that come with it. He see it.
It hits me, but yeah, I'm excited to be around those young men and impart some wisdom to them with the coaches. That's what it's about, paying it forward to our youth, and I'm excited to do that. Just to be having dialogue with my son, is great. More dialogue with him and other facets of life, and just teaching those young men, things that I've learned over the years and getting some guys who I know to come speak to them, you know, and impart wisdom to them. Because if they're good off the football field, they'll be good on it.
Yeah.
That's for all the kids we'll be playing against too, like, you know, just seeing them do the things I did on Friday night, that's going to be a joy in itself. And I'll be out there already, you know, so just to be on the sideline more, it's going to be exciting.
I'm sure it is. It's so great to see former players be able to coach their sons. One of the guys that does that is your friend and former teammate, Deion Sanders, who's been pretty successful coaching at Colorado. So you got to visit the Buffs during this season. What stands out to you about what Prime is doing?
Oh, man, just his leadership. You know, his leadership, how those kids are following. Prime is dedicated to each and every last one of those kids as a dad. Like, that's what I love about him. Like, he speak of his kids, but when he speak of his kids, like, he really is talking about each and every last one of those kids. I coached with Prime, big bro, at in Under Armour, events, and Shador and them was there, and it's the same. Like, he was still treating all those other kids, like family. I got a picture of Prime hugging one of my youngest nephews, and my youngest nephew play ball now. Like, he'd never forget that moment, So I know what Prime is doing is help football tremendously, but it's helped those young men, so much more, because there's so much more other than football, and that's a lot of them that's not going to play football.
It's definitely been fun to watch him go from.
Hey, that's facts, man. Definitely facts by Sean Taylor. Right, what else I should react to with y'all? I think I got one more video in me. But I don't see anything I can react to, man. But yeah, man, I'm gonna call it a night, man. It's 12:30. I gotta get up early in the morning for work. I'm gonna get that stream ready for y'all later on tomorrow around 9:30, 10. Go over all the tight ends prospects, the film as well. And that's it, man. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe for more content. Check my bio down below for all my inquiries. If you want to talk business, on top of that, y'all can get that 10K. That 10K is on its way. You already know, man. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Scan that QR code. We got our clothes on the website as well. If you need one, just make that order. That's all you gotta do. Just make that order. Even if you don't have the money to make an order, just leave a like, and that's all I really need for this video.